Hi there, I'm Kristen Yates, and I'm really excited that you're joining me to learn about the number one tool to help you skyrocket your productivity. And I just wanted to say, not only does this tool help you skyrocket productivity, but it's actually a key for helping you live and launch an epic life. And that's something that's been really important for me as I've been living, working, and traveling for the past 6 years, building a business and helping other people optimize their life, their work, their potential, and their health. And this tool is the number one thing that changed my life. 3 or 4 years ago, I was just constantly feeling scattered, feeling like I didn't have anything together. I had so many ideas and projects and creative energy, but I just was feeling all over the place and drained and frustrated and unsure of what I was doing. And I learned about this tool and started implementing it in my life and noticed huge results right away. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about developing morning rituals and how exactly those can help you jumpstart an epic life and skyrocket your productivity in ways that you might not have even imagined yet. So let's get started talking about morning rituals. All right, guys, really excited to teach you about how morning rituals can help you skyrocket your productivity and jumpstart your epic life. Like I said, morning rituals are the number one tool and strategy that I use to help me take my life to the next level in all areas. So I'm a holistic business coach and wellness teacher. My name is Kristen Yates, and let's jump in. So first thing we're going to get into is why you actually need a morning routine. Why is this important? You might know this on a cognitive level, but we're going to jump into some of these topics that will really teach you about why this is so important. Because every time we dive into a new strategy or tool or thing we're going to bring in our life, it's really important to have a why behind that that'll keep us accountable. So the first thing is willpower. We tend to think that willpower is this infinite resource that we can just always access, or it's always at the same level, but it's actually a finite resource that we expend through the day as we make decision after decision. So your willpower tank's full in the morning, but every little decision you make, from what clothes you're going to wear to what you're going to eat for breakfast, these all are small little things that deplete our willpower and our self-control. And these are things that are totally key for helping us establish productivity and create things consistently. So your most important work is going to be done in the morning because this is when your self-control and your willpower are the highest. This is when your focus is going to be highest, when your energy is going to be highest, and it's really important to protect that energy and willpower. So consistent morning rituals are like a system and a machine, a way to really consistently make sure that you're going to protect that willpower energy. And when you're engaging in your habits and your routine, like your ritual, your brain is actually able to shut down because you're so consistent with what you do. So you've predetermined the way that you're going to spend the first hour of your day, and you don't have to expend any willpower in that, which leaves space for you to engage with your work with full force after you complete your rituals. You're able to work smarter and not harder. So productivity is all about managing your energy, not your time, right? Your energy is the most powerful resource you have available to you. So your rituals are going to create more energetic space in your day, and they're actually going to act as a cornerstone habit, which from the book, The Power of Habit, I really recommend. It's the kind of habit that triggers another chain of successful habits. So for example, a cornerstone habit in your life might be drinking a green smoothie for breakfast. If you drink that green smoothie, that might trigger you to eat healthfully for the rest of your day. Or meditation might be a cornerstone habit for you to, be more mindful and live your life that day in a certain type of way. So the morning ritual is a cornerstone habit for the rest of your day. You're going to reduce mental fatigue when you conserve your willpower. When you're engaging with these practices and rituals that you know are healthy, it's just going to keep your energy strong. And it's so powerful when you know how the first hour of your day is going to go. You don't have to wake up and wonder, roll out of bed, like, what am I doing first today? You just get in. It's like you can go on autopilot, and it really helps preserve your energy. So whether you're an entrepreneur or not, your creativity is one of the most powerful resources that you have. And one reason that morning rituals are so powerful is that you really protect yourself against the needs and reactions of others right away. So we'll get more into this later, but it's so important to really protect your creative energy like a warrior. And only allow those things into your space and your senses first thing that are going to support your ideas and support your innate energy connecting to yourself, because this is what's going to help you create, work in your business or work for whatever work you're doing in your day, being with your family. This is the type of energy that you want to be starting in, is in yourself. So the morning rituals that I'm going to recommend include some sort of mindfulness practice, and meditation is scientifically proven to be one of the most healthy habits that we can engage in. It creates space in your energetic body, in your mind, in your emotional world. You're able to deal with challenges that come up in a more, spacious way with more consciousness. And you're going to actually feel like you have more time in your day when you meditate. So they say, meditate 15 minutes every day unless you don't feel like you have time, in which case you should meditate for an hour, because you really will feel that time come back to you. And again, it improves creativity, responsibility, and it helps you slow down and just make better decisions. So as we may know, it's or may not know, overnight success is a rare thing. We see people that just rise to the top right away, and it often looks like they just hit the jackpot overnight. But, success doesn't come overnight, and neither does failure. It's also rare that our lives just fail and crumble in an instant. Both massive success and massive failure are the result of slow, gradual, daily choices. The most epic, titans of the business world, of the thought leaders, the writers, the spiritual leaders of the world, everyone who's successful in whatever realm that you consider success, is the way that they are because of the small choices that they make every day. And so it's important to think about the end result you seek, and to think about the way that you start your day, because that's often the way that you finish it. So let's jump into just looking at some of the morning routines of some successful people, and just really putting into practice and able to see how that is true, what I just said, that the successful people are making themselves successful day by day. So Steve Jobs, obviously a very successful man, he used to ask himself, for the past 33 years, I've looked at myself in the mirror and asked this question: if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days, I know I need to change something. So I use this as an example because it's important to ask yourself questions that are going to help you frame your day in the best possible way. So you might want to start asking yourself powerful questions in the morning. Mark Twain came up with this idea that if you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, nothing worse will happen to you for the rest of the day. And this inspired a book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, which I also highly recommend. This is basically about doing the most important tasks first thing in the morning. Okay, so if you can knock the biggest thing off your to-do list, the rest of your day is going to feel like a breeze, and you'll feel so accomplished for having done that. Ben Franklin's another pretty successful dude from the past. And then we've got a mix of old school and new school in here. But just take a look at the morning ritual, his schedule. Like, morning rituals are not a new idea, right? He would schedule out his day with a morning question, which was, what good shall I do today? And then he would schedule out his time. In the evening, he would ask himself, what good have I done today? So it's just a really nice framework for starting the day and ending the day in a consistent way each and every day, and filling the rest of that time with really conscious, productive work. Tony Robbins, obviously a master right now in the area of morning rituals. He's really well known for his Hour of Power, which includes rituals like exercise, motivational incantations, breath, gratitude, and visualization. So if you really want to find a great model for morning rituals, Google Tony Robbins rituals or Tony Robbins Hour of Power. This video is super powerful, and he's an absolute master and, titan of self-optimization. His energy is unbeatable for, all of the work that he does, and you watch him get on stage during his seminars and he's just on fire. This guy has got so much energy. And it's because of his rituals. It's because of his routines. I can't express enough how, inspirational Tony Robbins is to me in developing morning rituals. So check him out if you haven't got a chance. So now we're going to dive into some strategies for actually creating your own morning routine, because it's all about action. So these are some of the topics that we're going to get into right now. The guidelines for your morning routine, I recommend starting early. So waking up at 6 or 7 a.m., obviously know your rhythms. You don't want to push yourself outside of what's comfortable for you. But, waking up early is always a good idea. It just means getting to bed a bit earlier. The morning time is a time that's a lot more sacred. It's a lot more quiet. It's easier to dive into your rituals when you have this space that's very quiet in the morning. Incorporating some sort of exercise, movement, reflection, and intentions is just the overall guideline. We'll get more into that soon. And just know what your most important habits are. So there's no one template that's going to work for everybody. There might be certain habits that are just really important to you specifically. You might have a certain, type of exercise or type of practice. Maybe you want to dance in the morning. Maybe you have a certain kind of music you want to listen to. So think about these things when designing your ritual. Breakfast, meditation, and gratitude are other rituals that you can work in. And it's important when you're developing your routine to use the strategy of habit stacking, which basically means you're not trying to develop this massive, elaborate daily ritual right away, because that's sort of setting yourself up for failure. If you don't have a daily ritual yet, just start with one or two things. Start with, a few practices like waking up and journaling for 2 minutes, or waking up and listening to a meditation and stretching. And then when you do that for a week, add on to the next thing. So starting small and building up habit by habit. Keep your electronics off until your morning routine is complete, and please don't even think about checking your phone. I'll just say this now, the number one most impactful habit that I developed in the mornings was keeping my phone on airplane mode throughout the night. And in the morning, like when I woke up in my morning routine, keeping the phone off airplane mode, because the minute that the internet starts to come in and the messages start flooding in, you're immediately distracted. I would just be immediately overtaken by this inflow of information. So keeping the phone off until I was ready to face my day and face all the messages and tasks to do was super powerful. So how to actually create your morning routine? You want to wake up and drink some water, wash your face. So hydrating, number one, is super important. Cleansing yourself. I actually also scrape my tongue, which I find really helps in Ayurveda. I've studied Ayurveda, so it really helps cleanse the body and wake up, bring some energy. Practice some exercise and stretching. So bringing the flow of blood throughout the body. I'd say 5 or 10 minutes minimum. I personally practice yoga for about 30 minutes, but any kind of exercise, stretching, maybe that's more cardio, high energy, maybe it's just low key in the morning. Reading your future vision. So first of all, writing out your future vision, what it is you want for your life in the form of goals or just a vision that you see for yourself, and reading that out loud. Then practicing meditation and writing out 3 items of gratitude that you have, and then the 3 most important tasks for your day. So these are really important elements of your morning routine that I would recommend. Extra things you can bring in might be affirmations, visualizations, different breath practices. Personally, I like using Kapalabhati, which is a form of yogic breathing that energizes and brings fire to the body. It really wakes you up. You can vary your exercise. You can have some days where you exercise more, some days with less, different types. You can incorporate reading or listening to motivational video. Just finding what works for you. And again, you can vary your morning routine. It doesn't have to be the exact same every day, but just finding something that works. And you'll really feel when you get in these habits, wow, I really feel inspired and motivated when I read, this book for 20 minutes every morning. And just something to keep in mind, I think one thing that blocks a lot of people from having these morning rituals is you feel like you don't have time. Who has an hour every morning to do this, right? I just want to tell you, it doesn't have to take an hour. This whole routine you see here, without the extra stuff, this could take you 20 minutes. It's a matter of self-love to get up and practice this, because this is your time. And I can't emphasize enough, when you start your day in a creative space versus a reactive space, when you're doing things that are good for you and not responding to the needs of the outside world yet, you will infinitely improve your energy, your life, your happiness. It just will happen. So yeah, we get into creation. It's really important to be hyper vigilant about what enters your consciousness in the morning, because this is such a sacred open time. You're actually imprinting the experience that you want to have for the rest of your day. So whether that's turning on your phone and getting an influx of messages and just responding right away, getting into this more unconscious state, or just really starting in your own body, breathing, feeling what comes up, meditating, writing about the insights that you have. really be a warrior. Protect your creative energy fiercely because it's the most important thing that you have. Keeping off of the news. So keep the TV off in the morning. You don't want mindless babble coming into your mind. Nourish your senses. So really, creating a beautiful space in the morning. I like to light a candle, light incense, so I have a nice smell in my room, put on beautiful music, and just really create the experience that I want to have for the rest of my day. And so just a few other things that I've started incorporating lately have been listening to motivational audios in the morning and repeating affirmations in my own voice to record and then listen back to those. So yeah, and then I often will play the same music, the same meditative music during my meditation because it becomes a trigger for getting you into that state. And when you do the same thing every day, again, like your whole ritual becomes a cornerstone habit, and then even the little things like listening to the same music or affirmations will just get you into that state that you want to be in. The Hour of Power, Tony Robbins style, is really, amazing and a little bit more specific. So his practice includes moving and breathing like really intensely, more than just yogic, but getting the body, getting the blood pumping, getting the muscles working, sweating a little bit. And then he recommends getting into an emotional state of enormous gratitude. So basically just take this morning ritual practice and take it to the next level. Do everything enormously. What you're grateful for will be brought into your life. And it's also really important to feel grateful for what you want. So if you want to be earning, $10,000 a month, be like, I'm so happy and grateful that I earn $10,000 a month, which allows me to, travel to visit my family when I want, which allows me to build the businesses that help me change the world, blah, blah, blah. Be in the state for what you want. I'm so grateful for my amazing romantic partner who, blah, 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 whatever. Even if you don't have a partner yet, just be grateful for it. It will come to you. And your incantations. So Tony Robbins calls affirmations, he calls them incantations. And so these are mantras which you're saying to yourself, which are creating your ideal life. I'm bringing my dreams into reality. All I have is, all I need is within me. These are beautiful phrases which are going to prime your mind for the life you want to be living. Eating your frog. So this is from the Brian Tracy book, right? We want to get the hardest things done first thing in the morning. So choose that frog or task that you really need to get done that you kind of want to avoid and write it down the night before and put it somewhere where you're going to see it first thing in the morning. That's going to help you remember to get it done. So again, we're managing our energy, not our time. And if you think about what type of energy do you have in the morning? This isn't going to be the same for everyone. Just ask yourself, what type of tasks is that energy best suited for? This is a more conscious way to use our energy. It's a more conscious way of working that a lot of people aren't using it. Most people just, start their day, whether it's an 8-hour day or whatever it is, and they just plug on through the same types of tasks every day without being conscious of their particular energy flow. So for me, my creative energy is highest in the morning. That's when I'm in big picture mode, big vision mode. And I kind of split my morning into two parts because I've got that really creative energy, but then my implementation energy is also more high. So my morning before lunch is creation and then implementation. And then afternoon, I do a bit of admin things and some things to rejuvenate myself, but before getting into the afternoon session of work. But really just think about what types of tasks you want to do at certain times. If you're a freelancer, I recommend doing your passion work first. So for a long time, I've been freelancing while building my own business, and I really recommend you do your own work first. So a lot of times I'd be freelancing and I would do my freelance work first, basically doing work for other people, and that wasn't so helpful because again, it's a matter of self-love. It's a matter of prioritizing, and you can get that freelance work done if you're doing it for money like I have been, but you have to put your highest energy into your own passion projects. If you want to build that business, that has to come first. And that's just sort of like time blocking again. We set up certain periods of time for certain tasks. It's really important to bring in breaks into your day. So moving, exercising, breathing. I really recommend taking at least 1 minute away from the screen every hour to just practice some breath meditation, and at least 5 to 10 minutes every, 90 minutes to 2 hours to actually step away, get up, get outside, and move your body. So we talked about keeping the phone on plane mode, super important until you finish your morning routines. Also, don't open your email until noon. Really try to stay in your creative mode. Email is actually just someone else's request of your time, whatever way you want to look at it. That's what it is, and that's fine. But it's something that you shouldn't be checking repeatedly and obsessively. I know for me, I've gone in stages where I'm just like, I don't, I start my morning, I have my breakfast, and I'm like, what do I do? I know I have to work, but I go look at the email box. And that's basically asking yourself, what's someone else telling me to do right now? So it's important to make your own most important task list or MIT list the night before, so you know what you're going to be doing that day. You don't need to look in your email inbox for someone else to tell you what to do. And before you actually start work, it's important to have a little pregame ritual that takes you from your morning routines to your workspace. And so that might be something like preparing your breakfast, making coffee, having a shower. And one thing that can be helpful is actually preparing or planning out your breakfast beforehand. So again, it's that limiting your amount of decisions so your willpower can stay higher and saved throughout the day. So for me, I make a green smoothie every morning. Maybe you just want to have a simple, green juice, green smoothie, or whatever breakfast you want, have that already planned. This is just a list of my personal morning rituals that I do at the moment. And it's actually been changed a little bit. I have some new ones in here, but I wake up, I speak out a simple affirmation that's in line with what I'm creating in my life at the moment. I wash the face, drink lots of water, scrape my tongue, and I light incense and turn on calming music. So that music, the meditative music, is my trigger for getting into my body and into my creative energy. I practice yoga, I read my future vision, and I meditate. I'm working up from 12 minutes, but right now it's at 12. And then writing about gratitude, doing a short free write with any insights that have come up from the meditation, and then setting my 3 intentions and most important tasks for the day. And then moving on with green smoothie and coffee for work time. So these are some resources that I really recommend using. And the Miracle Morning, Eat That Frog, great books. Fight Master Yoga is a beautiful YouTube channel by Leslie Fightmaster. I love her videos. I'm a yoga teacher, but I love to have someone guide me through my morning practice. And so that's just one that I really recommend. And these are resources that I'll also be sending out in my Mornings to Mastery online course, which I'm really excited to just share with you guys. It's basically a guided 21-day journey to jumpstart your epic life. So it's a way to take all of this information we've just learned and put it into action. So 21 days is the number of days, 3 weeks, to make a habit and to break a habit. And that's why I've chosen this number, because I really believe that if you can establish morning routines for 21 days consistently, you will change your life. You'll go from, everything on the left here. This is all how I used to feel before I had morning routines in place, like this and more. I was scattered, I was unfocused, running in circles, always felt busy, but never really getting much done. Just feeling overwhelmed by all the challenges happening and sick of just being in the same cycles, knowing that I wanted to change, but not sure how I would do that. And after establishing morning rituals, really strong rituals for more than 3 weeks, I felt clear, focused, and calm, and if I can do this, you could do this, because I could be one of the most scattered people in the world. So I'm telling you, it's possible for you to feel this creative inspiration, energy. You're engaged with the priorities. So you're not so busy without getting things done. You're not running in circles. You're actually engaged with what matters and what's going to move your projects forward. You're working smarter, getting more done, and having more energy than you did before. You're not depleting yourself by working. You're actually feeling centered, confident, feeling joyful. It improves your relationships. I know when I'm, mindful and creative in the morning, I'm more loving to people in my life. I'm more loving to my friends, to my romantic partner. Like, it's just absolutely a life-changing type of thing. I'm able to handle more challenges that come up. So, having these morning rituals just is going to empower you to be able to create change in all of the other areas of your life. So if you guys are interested in taking this to the next level and actually putting the information from this into action in your life, I'm running a 21-day journey to jumpstart your epic life. And this journey is 21 days because it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. And this is a powerful number. This 3-week mark is, if you can stay committed to something for 21 days, you're far more likely to stay with it for the long run. And so I'm going to walk with you day by day, step by step, to help you design your morning ritual. We're going to send you PDFs and templates to help you get clear on what your unique morning ritual is, to use habit stacking to bring things in bit by bit, not biting off more than you can chew, but committing to that which feels good as we go. We'll build up to the 21-day final routine. You'll stay accountable through some PDFs and templates that I'm going to send out and track your productivity. You'll also be tracking how you feel. So you'll have all this evidence to show you how this is working for you. I'm going to send out daily emails that are going to walk you step by step, again, like I said, through how to actually design this ritual and how to stick with it. And you'll also be receiving journaling prompts, daily motivations, and reflection questions that are, it's really a journey of, insight into yourself, as well as an external journey of creating the structure that's going to enhance your productivity in your life, as well as your happiness and your relationships. So, and at the end of the 21 days, I'm actually going to send out, when you finish your 21-day challenge, you'll get a special bonus just to celebrate the fact that you've created this new structure that you're going to be far more likely to commit to in the long run. And I really, it sounds cheesy, but this really can be life-changing. So that's why I want to really celebrate those who finish the 21 days with a special surprise. So if you're interested in joining this, I'd love to have you on the journey. You'll have really personalized support from me as well. This is an exciting thing that I want to share because morning rituals have been so powerful in my life, and I want to support you individually to create this structure for yourself, because I really believe that it can change your life. So yeah, if you're interested, would love to have you. Just go ahead and, there's places to find more information about purchasing that here. And if not, just let's stay in touch. Yeah, thanks so much for being on this little mini journey with us here. And yeah, hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks so much again for joining me on this journey to discover morning rituals. Right now, you have the joy of seeing in reflection the beautiful city I live in of Chiang Mai, Thailand. So that was sort of unintentional, but kind of cool. This is where I practice my morning rituals every day. I live in the north of Thailand, and it's pretty cool. So anyway, if you found this helpful or interesting, I'd love to work with you more in our course. So hope to see you there. Otherwise, talk soon.